Good morning. Today brings us to the neighbourhood of Ridgewood South, and this is the walk I did around it. Now, if you're familiar with video games, the shape of Ridgewood South reminds me of the Vorpal blade from Alice Madness Returns. So what we're going to do today is we're going to walk along the spine of that blade, along the Heart Trail, and we're going to get all the way to the west perimeter, which is about 6 kilometres away. You've already seen that I have packed a snack, and that is going to be my treat for when we get to the end. But I've done a bunch of videos down Heart Trail, so we won't focus too much on the Heart Trail. We'll go off the beaten track and see what we can see in Ridgewood South until we get to the perimeter. Well, first thing off the beaten path is the Oasis Church behind me. That was once a McMunnan Yates lumber yard, and when I built my deck, I don't know, 15 seasons ago, I got all my lumber from that lumber yard. They said you're supposed to buy lumber that's close to where you live so that the wood is acclimatized, I guess. Well, now they went and built a church on top of it now. So if I want a bag of nails, I have to go elsewhere, which is a bit of a shame. Oh well, Jesus needs a place to hang out, I guess. There's traces of a building back here. Yeah. Alright. Well, that looks a little bit too modern to be anything from when the Heart Trail was a railway line. I thought it might be some kind of railway building or some artifact of that era, but no, it looks like somebody started building foundations and then just gavelled. Alright, let's keep going. Marge Eady was a long-term Charleswood resident and an avid golfer, and she won, I don't know, 30 odd championships and 20 other things, and she was inducted into the Canada Sports Hall of Fame. I don't know anything about sports, I'm not big into sports at all, but there you go. Marge Eady, resident of Charleswood, gets this park named after her, and as you can see from the cars that have just passed me, it's quite a busy one. Now, the Michael Commenda story is a harrowing one. He was hanging out with his buddies where the old arena used to be, the Apollo Park, and they wanted somewhere to have a bit of an adventure. The arena was slated for demolition, so they figured they'd climb on the roof, and unfortunately poor Michael fell through the roof and plummeted, I think it was 200 feet, to his doom. And I can't imagine what must have been going through his mind, through his friends' minds. You can't take back those last moments. So to remember him and to give other folks, young punks, anybody that wants to just skate and get a bit of an adrenaline rush, we now have this wonderful skate park in Ridgewood South. There we go. Heartbreaking, but let's move on to some nicer things. Right, we've done the countryside-y bit of Ridgewood South, and now we're going into the community bit of Ridgewood South. Well, this is a relatively new community, perhaps not stuff down Charleswood Road here, but as we get further in to Ridgewood South, it's all brand spanking new. Last couple of decades maybe, and it's still growing. And these days, when they build new communities, they have started to introduce traffic islands. And of course, if you're from the UK, you know that a traffic island is an integral part of the motoring infrastructure. Everybody knows what they are, everybody knows how to use them. But my goodness, over here, I've seen people go around them the wrong way. I've seen people just pile out of them without yielding. I've even seen people miss their turn, stop, reverse, and then take the turn they wanted, not knowing that you can go all the way around. But so there's 3 traffic islands in Ridgewood South, and they've got some art plonked in the middle of them. So let's go and check those out and see if we can't get any embarrassing motorists. Well, coming up on island number 1 here, and somewhat disappointing. Where's the art? Well, alright, just a pile of rocks, they might mean something. On to the next. Coming up on island 2, now this is more like it. What do you reckon they're supposed to be? Feathers? Cool. And traffic island number 3, and by far my favourite. I love these riveted bison. Not actually rivets, but big bolts. But anyway, that's my favourite one right there. Well, let's get back to the Heart Trail. We are almost at the end where we meet the West Perimeter, and I am ready for my breakfast sandwich. Well, that mad cyclist is attempting to cross the Perimeter Highway. But here we are at the end of the Heart Trail, end of Ridgewood South, and that new community apparently is now called Ridgewood West. So Ridgewood South and West. But let us now enjoy this. Oh, fantastic. The astute amongst you will have noticed that this is a poached egg and black pudding McMuffin. I can't find black pudding here in Winnipeg, so this has been smuggled in from the UK. Don't tell anybody. Absolutely divine. Covered in crumbs. Well, you know what I forgot to bring with me was something to drink, and a poached egg and black pudding McMuffin pretty salty. There is a pub 2.1 kilometers away from here. It's not in Ridgewood South. Maybe I would be breaking my own rules if I popped there. What do you think? Well, we made it. That wasn't that far. Cheers. Oh, that's disgusting. But at least I'm outside on a patio. There we go. Sitting out on a patio when it's not really warm enough to do it, drinking a horrible pint. Ah well, better luck next time. So that's pretty much it. Thank you, Ridgewood South, for your hospitality.